Joining me now live is retired FBI Special Agent Bobby Chacon, who is in Palm Springs. Thanks so much for being with us. Welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Alex.
So you say it's really important to focus on where this person went and also who was shot first. Why is that so important?
Well, as an investigator, I would want to know that, almost immediately if I could, because if this is in fact a targeted a murder, the first person that the killer would look for when they enter that room is the target of their anger. And so they would go up to them first. You would think that they would, because once that first shot goes off, they know there's going to be pandemonium in there. People are going to be diving under desks, running for doors. So they want to go to their intended target as quickly as possible. Now, the good thing for investigators is in a crowded room like that, when somebody walks in and they're not supposed to be there, people often take notice. They'll look at them. Once that first shot is fired, then all bets are off. But oftentimes you do have witnesses say what they saw the first shot go. They may not see the second shot because they're diving for cover, but normally the first shot comes as a shock and they see it. And so you get some witness statements to that effect. And so that leads you to the intended victim. Well, the intended victim tells you a lot about the perpetrator, because now you can concentrate on this one person and say, who wanted this victim dead in their life? What was going on? Did they have any beefs? Were they getting stalked? Did they have any romantic rivals? All of those things kind of can be explored once you know who the intended victim is.
What do you make of the way that police released this video today, asking people to focus on the gate, asking for more video? Does that give you an indication that they're stuck?
Yeah, unfortunately, I think they are. And I think they're getting more video in, but they've got to vet all that video first, maybe enhance it a little bit, and then get it out to people. They also have to make sure that this is the person they're most interested in. If there's somebody else wearing similar clothes, you don't want to put that person out there in the video, because you could come up with, people going after the wrong person. So yeah, I think that they missed a lot of video on campus. So now they're having to rely on, further and further out. They're trying to find his pattern or his path out of there, and then go to people in that neighborhood along that path to try to see if they can get more video. And I think the one good thing they said at the press conference was it doesn't have to be after the incident. People should look at even days and weeks before, if they can, and see if they see anybody that looks like that person. Because I think they know now that 10:30 in the morning, he was spotted in that neighborhood, maybe casing the building and stuff. So all of that is valuable.
Meanwhile, let's talk about the investigation when it comes to the death of Rob and Michelle Reiner. We learned today that Nick Reiner was found in Exposition Park near the USC campus, out in the public, was arrested. There's been questions about his mental ability and physical well-being in order to even appear in court. What were sort of your big takeaways from what we learned today?
Well, the big thing was, like you said, I think he was deemed not mentally capable of participating in the hearing today, so they put it off until another day. And the fact that they initially had $4 million bail and then revoked it, that means that the prosecution is seeking what we call in California special circumstances, so murder with special circumstances. And the special circumstances could be any number of things. In this case, it's multiple victims. And so that's an automatic possible life with no parole, which means it's a no bail charge. And then the second thing is the mental defense. California is very difficult. There's a very high bar, the insanity defense. It shifts the burden to the defense. If you're going to try to seek an insanity defense, the burden is on the defense to prove the insanity. And in California, we have something called the McNaughton rule, which means if you absolutely know the quality of and the reason of your attack, it means if you're angry at somebody and you know they're your parent, that's not going to hold an insanity defense. You're not going to be able to claim that as part of. You need to be not aware of what you're doing when you're doing it, and that just doesn't seem to be the case in the Reiner case, because there's such a history here of his drug abuse and his addictions. And in 1994, the penal code in California was amended to say that drug abuse and addiction, it can't solely be used as an insanity defense. So it's a high bar if his lawyer intends to seek that as a defense.
We'll see. He's got a very pricey, very well-respected lawyer in Alan King. Bobby Chacon, thank you so much for your perspective. Really appreciate it.